Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is the VidOn Box, which is a small set-top box that you can use to run XBMC on your TV. And this isn't going to be an unboxing, this is actually going to be a little bit of a video review, but I wanted to show you the box, even though I've already opened it, just because I think the presentation is part of what makes this guy special. So it's a little device that runs Google Android software, and we've seen a lot of devices like this in the past couple of years. This one has a couple of special features, one of which I think is the presentation. It's a plastic case, but it really does look a little bit nicer than some of the other boxes we've seen, and something that might look good in a living room, I would say. When you open it up, though, you'll also notice that it comes with this instructional manual. So it tells you how to set it up. A membership card, and I'll get to that in a moment. Remote control and power cable, which is already plugged in. Remote control is pretty easy to use. It runs a coin cell style battery here, and you'll need to take off a little piece of plastic and make sure it's in place before it works properly. Also has a nice sort of soft touch, almost velvety finish to it. It's infrared remote control that works when it's pointing at the device, and we've got home, back, menu, volume, and arrow buttons, and a power button. So let me go ahead and show you the box, plug it in, and tell you a little bit about this membership thing. So the box itself probably would sell for about $50 if it didn't come with a 1-year membership, and it features an all-winner A31S quad-core ARM Cortex-A7 processor, 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigs of built-in storage, 2 USB 2.0 ports, HDMI, Ethernet, power adapter, SPDIF audio, and that's about it. So there's no SD card or micro SD card slot. And you'll notice that there was no HDMI cable in the box either. It doesn't come with a cable, so you'll need to supply your own. It supports 1080p audio, has little bumpers on the bottom, and let's go ahead and plug it in. So it's booting up here. Now, in terms of membership, for about $15 a year or $2 a month, although you get the first year free with this card that comes with it, you get access to VidOn's special features. And for the most part, that includes special features for XBMC. VidOn is actually a sponsor of XBMC / Kodi is the new name for the popular media center application. And what you get right now are things like high quality audio pass-through via HDMI or SPDIF, and access to Blu-ray menus. Now, neither of these are features that I've really tried here, and I'm not sure that everybody needs them, but when you do go through and set up this device to run the first time, you will need a VidOn account. So you'll need to sign up for one on the website and then enter the code that comes on your card. You'll notice that I turned this on and it booted straight into XBMC, so that's something that really does set it apart, I think, from a lot of other devices. And it doesn't do that automatically, but there is an option in the settings to do it. So while we're here, I'll show you a little bit of what you can do. Let's just pick a quick video. So this is an internet video streaming from the Geek and Sundry channel. And hopefully my internet is going to be strong. I just closed the door to the office. There we go.
Hello. There's no new tabletop this week, but I have a gag reel for last week's episode of Geek Out. It's less a gag reel and more a behind the scenes.
So we've got access to all of our
Let's show the kids at home some stuff that we
options here. You can use the remote control to navigate. Everything works pretty nicely. We can go back, look for local files, go to settings, etc. Now there's also an option to use a remote control app on your phone if you would like, and I'm going to go ahead and plug in a USB flash drive here so that you can see some local video playback as well. Assuming it wants to recognize it. It wasn't plugged in when I started, so that might be the problem. So maybe we'll come back. Oh, here we go. So shouldn't be any buffering this time.
Scientists are working on this, you know?
So So there you go, we've got video playback. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the home button on the remote control, and that's going to take us out of XBMC and into this, which is actually closer to what you would see the first time that you run the device. So from here, you can go in and manually launch VidOn XBMC. For some reason, there's two different versions that come preloaded. And some of these other guys, you might notice that there's little sort of arrows. So the Netflix app is not installed, but it is available as an option here. YouTube, I went ahead and installed myself, and you have access to the Google Play Store. We can also go to Files and, again, sort of go and see what's on our local drive there. And that's a video that is a little bit stuttery, so it's not a great example. Let's go ahead and click the home button again. And from here, let's go back to settings. And most of your Android settings are available here. We've got system info, time, general, network. And under general, you'll see this is where the option is to start VidOn XBMC when you first boot the device. You can also change the name of the device and so on. So for the most part, it's really designed so that you don't even notice that it's running Android, unless you plug in a mouse, pull down from the top of the screen, and suddenly we've got access to Android settings and other things. You can also see it if you go into the advanced settings, and what we've got is something that looks a lot more like a smartphone or tablet user interface. So we've got access to our full set of Android applications and settings. Also on the home screen, you might have noticed that we do have access to the Google Play Store. So we can go in here and search for third-party applications and download and install them. The problem is third-party applications don't always run all that well. So for instance, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the YouTube app here. And I'm using the on-screen, or the keyboard buttons, and okay, so I've gone through skip, fast forward, or next, and so on, but the arrow keys just won't let me hit done. I don't have the option to hit done. So I'm going to go ahead and use the mouse to do that. And that's because essentially what we're doing is we're running a device or an application that was designed for touchscreen displays, and it expects a touchscreen display. So likewise, I might be able to go ahead and search tediously by entering one letter at a time, or I'll use the mouse, which is going to save me some time. But again, sort of navigating through this using the buttons makes it really hard to actually choose a video. I can go to videos, I can scroll down, but I don't know what I'm selecting, or if I'm selecting anything. But I can do it with a mouse. So really the built-in, or the default remote control that comes with the device is going to be useful for some situations, but you're really going to want to use this more for XBMC if you plan to only use the default remote control. Otherwise, you might want to plug in a keyboard, a mouse, third-party remote control, other sorts of devices that are going to be easier to use, maybe a gamepad if you wanted to play video games. Now, the all-winner A31S processor does a pretty good job with 1080p H.264 video, but it's not a super speedy processor, so it's not necessarily the best box if you wanted to play a lot of video games or handle 4K video or do other sorts of things or other sorts of video formats. But if what you basically want to do is use one of the more popular current video codecs, access online media through plugins for XBMC, access local media that's 720 or 1080p. It works pretty well and sells for about $50 if you sort of find it on sale. From the VidOn website, it's $70, and that includes the 1-year membership. Once that membership expires, you should be able to continue using the device, but you won't have access to some of the premium features and the support that come with it. So that is a quick video review of the VidOn box running VidOn XBMC based on Android 4.4 software. This is Brad Linder with